One of the main issues in modern-day American politics, and in politics in many other countries as well, is the discussion around immigration. Now, immigration can be a very complex topic to discuss that involves lots of different factors to come into play that people have to consider. Many people like to talk about either the economic impact that immigration will have or the economic benefit that immigration will bring. In terms of both of those, I don't see them as important as the ethical basis of immigration policy. In terms of that, economic reasoning does not hold a lot of weight when compared to a solid ethical theory. If you are someone who believes that humans at a very basic level have some sort of intrinsic moral worth or some sort of value attached to them, that is at least intrinsic in every single human that exists. Every human shares this value no matter their nationality, no matter any other aspect, anything beyond just being born as a human impacts. As a human who is someone who is at least has some sort of intrinsic value and therefore at least to some extent has at least some moral obligations attached to them, doesn't matter where they are born, for they all have intrinsic value. And so in the case of where they are born is dependent on what is known as an accident of birth. There is no choice that someone can make to where they're born. In the case that someone is in need and is in a country or area that does not provide something that they need, it is possibly within the framework of understanding humans as intrinsic beings that we should have borders opened to people who need to go to another country. Arguments over the economic viability, whether that is one way or another, whether you think that immigration is good or bad for the economy, should not factor into the duties that we should have to these people on a ethical basis. Borders in this sense are a socially constructed arbitration. They exist with a line drawn invisibly through a piece of land that denotes ownership that one government holds on one side of the line and another government holds on the other side of the line. Because of that, it has no real basis in determining the worth or the duties that we would have to another person. While others say that there exist civic duties, such as aiding people here first, or aiding the fellow citizenry that exist within the same political unit as we do. So say like, we first predominantly have obligations to people who are born in the United States versus people who are not born in the United States, because someone being born in the United States makes them a citizen and therefore part of the same political community that we are a part of. However, attempting to base a moral value or influence our actions that we make towards other people has to be determined by what side of the border they are on, has the same issue as any other socially constructed thing attributed to someone. If we were to judge people or have different obligations to people on the basis of their gender or their race or any of that sort, then there is no real argument to be made that attribution of nationality would have any difference in terms of our moral obligations to other people.